Welcome everyone, friends of a good rent and stuff. Welcome me to some coffee. Because coffee is what you need when you deal with big ISPs. I wanted to give you a tiny little update. This is so frustrating. With all the live streams, we put here so much effort in bringing you various programming content and Linux and other stuff. And then so often our ISP fails on us. People already think we are incompetent, have here non-epic thread wrapping Ryzen PCs and not the most amazingly patched Wayland and OBS stuff. But at the end of the day, usually we have some 12% of not even 4 Mbit brought to you by this failing DOCSIS Vodafone. I mentioned multiple times, and I made a couple of videos. I mentioned multiple times here with previous videos, so I'm not making this shit up. And ironically, I upgraded just because previously we had here cable. So basically this DOCSIS cable stuff is the highest performance stuff I get here at a reasonable price in the center of Berlin. And yeah, just 3 Mbit already, 86 drop frames or 2.9%. And people ask me, can you not get some proper internet? It's like, no, cable would be like fiber optics would be highly expensive, thousands of euro, dollar only for the installation. And this VDSL, apparently maybe according to the VDSL checking stuff, they don't have this on the street. And so this DOCSIS stuff would be quite okay if it would work, but it works like shit, as proven here by this live streams. Can't make this shit up even. This shit is so shit I couldn't even make this up if I wanted to. So we have this stuff here, and ironically, so for the company, regular email stuff and software stuff, 200 Mbit were fine. Ironically, I upgraded, and this price is of course advertising stuff, so reprice is 49 plus tax. So this is up from the 12 months 64, 60, 65, maybe with tax, whatever. All right, wait a second, this was 1 gigabit. 59 here. So this is advertising, new customer stuff, and then later this. And ironically, I upgraded just for YouTube live streaming from this 200 to this 500. Also, initially we only had like 10 Mbit upstream or something, and they, as you know, the ISPs changes every year. And maybe 200 was even, so maybe when we contracted it, maybe 200 was even the fastest, and then they had 300, 400, and we didn't immediately upgrade it, and then they had 500, and they also increased the upstream. So ironically, not only did I, just for this YouTube business here, upgrade the contract from 200 to 500 was mostly due to the upstream, right? This, I think they said maybe 10 or something, and now we have 50. So yeah, this is what we should get, but of course we get shit. So repeat please, drop frames, yeah, 400, yeah, I can't make this stuff up. I already decreased this here. But anyway, so what do we get? This is what we get, so downstream even relatively okay-ish. Upstream, of course, 10 Mbit garbage. And ironically, this 10 Mbit is mostly advertising. Maybe they prioritize speed test, I have no idea. Or additionally, the YouTube peering, because as you see from all the 500 or 7.2 drop frames, it's hilarious. It's getting worse and worse. Certainly the pandemic didn't help, but long story short, it is not we're not the ISP, right? We buy something and pay the stuff. We should get at least 50% of what we pay for, right? I would already be more than happy with 25 Mbit, but we get in speed test 10, this morning 8, usually maybe 18, sometimes more, but it fluctuates immediately. And what pisses me off the most is that there are just a bunch of really lying mafia people there, because I said this before, so the whole stuff is like broken from the beginning to the end. When we upgraded this, I made this video, Vodafone promised maximum 15 minutes downtime, but of course it was 24 to 48 hours. You can watch this video from 1.5 years ago. And so yeah, this was March. So this is when we upgraded, right? So this is, we upgraded from 200 to 500 Mbit, and they insisted, you can watch this video, to send us a new router, DOCSIS 3.0, 3.1, maybe 3.1. Anyway, I even told them, look, I don't think I need a new router. I think this is fine. No, you need a new router. Okay, fine. I said, yeah, but we have this fixed IP address and I see it already coming. They will promise, no, it's just plug and play and it will work. And according to this old video, of course, it didn't work. Basically, it didn't even configure right. And I think maybe the new router didn't get internet at all. And with some interference, it got like some DHCP address, which wasn't our static IP address, and so on and so on. So the promise of sending us, and the router was the same, DOCSIS 3.1 or whatever, maybe probably 3.0, 3.1. It was the same. I could lift it up and take a look, but that's probably 3. Anyway, the point is, they promised us, first of all, I knew it better. We didn't need a shit new router. And of course, it was nearly 2 days, like 1 to 2 days. Probably was nearly 48 hours, because what is the issue? The issue is they had to get the old MAC address out of their system, and while it was still registered and in there, they're bloody also, shit systems, right? It's always like, just wait 24 hours, like we have a business to run with a fixed IP address for our email and some license server activation stuff, and right, and need to move the stuff to data center and improvise stuff in there. But so long story short, they always don't know what they are doing, and so also made another, like Vodafone, still no working cable. This was 1 year ago, probably, when we were disappointed here how crappy it is. January, February, March, April. So probably 2 months later, it's like, internet was like shit. Thank you very much. And so what I mentioned, the point of this video is, right, they lied to us. They lied to me multiple times. Back in that day, in that video, they even sent a technician, like, maybe something is with your cable. We sent someone to measure this shit. It's like, 1000, this is hilarious, so many drop frames. And so they lied to me, right? Over a year ago, they told me, oh, we are so sorry, yes, we know your segment is over congested and stuff, and we are working on a re-segmentation. And I said here multiple times, so first of all, I made the mistake of trusting their bloody support that I should have known that it is garbage. So they lied to us. They lied to us for over a year. They couldn't even, I should have got suspicious, because we are sorry, it works somewhat right. We are working on, we are doing a re-segmentation, which probably means splitting this block in like 2. So the hundreds of thousand users are only 50 users on one fiber DOCSIS distribution hub there or something. And so I trusted them they are working on it, and the problem was the persons I spoke with, multiple, maybe 5 persons, and five or something, plus minus 5, 6, 7 persons over a couple of months. They always told me, yes, we're working on re-segmentation, and trust us, it will work eventually. And until today, it's worse than ever. 2000, it's a freaking 3 Mbit upstream to YouTube, which and so don't trust the freaking. They are always lying to you. A bunch of lying. Louis Rossman's hool bitches. It's hilarious. So today I called them. So I didn't call them for 6 months. Previously, a year ago, they always told me re-segmentation. When I asked, when will this work? In some months, end of the year. And it's like, we can't tell, but there is a forum post. And I found there's some forum post. Actually, I could have Vodafone re-segmentation forum. And this is also hilarious, right? Instead that they tell you it takes 12 months, you need to find this yourself in some Vodafone. It was like, it was 8 to 15 months or something. It's also hilarious that they can't tell you and move you to some forum. But today I made the mistake. Today I called them, like after 6, I didn't call them, I'm not like such an annoying, I mean, we were patient, right? We lived here with this garbage, with all the drop frames not brought to you, all our precious high definition P3 and SG-Octane and all the high definition source code and stuff here. All the 10,000s, if not 100,000s of frames lost on the way through this garbage DOCSIS cable network. And today I made the mistake of like, by the way, internet is worse than ever. What's with the re-segmentation that you promised us? And the support was like, what re-segmentation? Wait a second, what are you even talking about? And I admire Louis Rossmann for recording all this. I mean, I had the previous ASUS phone call recorded. I should have known better. I should have recorded this bloody phone call. Although it would have been in German. This was like so hilarious. And then the support people even like, we don't have an open ticket for your contract. And so what do you mean open contact? Over a year ago, your colleagues promised me you're working on re-segmentation, and now you told me because you don't have an open ticket, you don't see there any history. So you're telling me you're not even working on freaking re-segmentation. It's like, no, I mean, yeah, your area currently has some issues, but that we will solve, like, but we are not working on re-segmentation. So, okay, fine, then patient customer as I am is like, okay, fine, then open a ticket and that we eventually have working upstream, right? And then it's like, yeah, can you give me a speed test? And excuse me, I already have the experience that your speed test is probably prioritized. And because usually it's like 20 Mbit or 18 or something. Ironically, in this morning it was like only 8 or 6. Now we have 10, which is of course far cry from 50. And the 10 is not even stable, right? As seen here, 3000, and I lowered the bitrate, right? I thought, okay, let's stream with less. 3 freaking Mbit. You can't even freaking get 3 freaking Mbit stable here and have 3400 or 16 freaking. This is hilarious, right? I mean, if you're wondering if I stream here with 7 Mbit or whatever, it is so ridiculous. So yeah, don't trust your ISPs. They will only, so basically my lesson learned is I knew they don't have good support. They tell you random bullshit. But I did not expect, when 5 people a year ago told me, we are working on re-segmentation. Yes, sir, we are working on re-segmentation. Yes, we know your area is congested. We are working on re-segmentation. That a year later, they tell me, re-segmentation? What are you talking about? And yeah, so I probably have to install some fancy voice over IP software like Louis Rossmann and record here all our freaking telephone calls, because nobody believes this shit. And if I would have Louis Rossmann style recording of all the recordings, I say, here's a phone call of last year. And this is also the problem, right? If you phone call, you don't have proof unless you record everything like Louis Rossmann. So yeah, here is the email. So this is also, so this is not email, SMS. So this is like, yeah, dear Exacode, we have a problem with your internet connection. We are sorry, we work on this. And so I don't know if, here they write, we install a new fiber optic cable. It's like, is this a new term for re-segmentation? Probably it is, but the person told me, re-segmentation? I don't know what you're talking about. Then you get the text message, oh yeah, we are working on a fiber optic cable. This can take some months. It's like, the person literally just told me he does not know what I'm freaking talking about, and they don't have re-segmentation running in this area. So basically, summary of why do I get so crazy, right? Because the tech support knows less than you do. I mean, okay, I'm kernel developer and stuff, but hey, freaking, at least they should freaking know what's going on in their system and not each day. So maybe they're working on re-segmentation or fiber optic cable after all. But then I was thinking like 1522 today is like, maybe it's re-segmentation after all, but it can take some months. Yeah, I'm already waiting literally 1.5 freaking year. I can take a couple of more months, maybe, allegedly. And then, but I later got, we are working on this. There is an issue, we solve it. Like scheduled appointment stuff is no longer necessary. It's like, yeah, do you install new fiber optic cable re-segmentation thing? And by the way, this is the issue, right? They only close this ticket. So I called them this morning. It's like, what you're talking about? We don't have an open ticket, right? So this is really tricky. Even if there is an issue and they work on re-segmentation and they constantly close the tickets, you call 1 year later, nobody freaking will have there any history. If there is like, yeah, like here, we install fiber optic stuff, it can take some months, and then immediately later, just some 15, 16 minutes, it's like, yeah, there's an issue, it's no longer necessary, by the way, we close this ticket soon. It's like, what's the freaking heck even? And then each time I tweet this, each time of this live streams, and I tweet like at Vodafone freaking failing cable Germany stuff. By the way, your internet is still shit. It's shit since 1.5 years, and you freaking never fix your re-segmentation issue whatsoever. And then this Twitter support, oh, we are sorry, how can we help you? And they always make this pseudo attempt of helping, and then after, and contact us here privately with direct message, but asterisk, unencrypted, don't send personal information or whatever bullshit or whatever. And then in the private messages, oh yeah, we know, yeah, we're working on it. And so the public is always, hey, we care, we do something. And then direct message, oh yeah, I see, colleagues already answered you, and oh yeah, they're working on it. It can take a while. Resegmentation, yeah, it can be a year or two or never, or maybe. The problem is, of course, this year, and this is also failing infrastructure, right? If companies don't fix their shit early, then there is 100-year pandemic later, and everyone watches streaming video all day. And yeah, it was broken. It was broken before the pandemic, and now it's even more broken because everyone watches the whole day streaming video, like this channel with 3,560 drop frames, aka 12%. It's like, yeah. So thank you, Vodafone, for this amazing support. And the problem is, I mean, some company, maybe it was Versatel, but not a paid advertisement, they called us because we're a freaking company. It's like, hey, we have this amazing fiber optic cable to sell for you. Are you interested? And me like, fiber optic cable? Yeah, sure, of course I'm interested. Yeah, we have a special offer right now. We get you some governmental funding and you only pay 50% of the installation cost. 50% of this installation cost is how much? Oh, this is discount. It's a bargain. It's cheap. It's only 1,250 euros. It's like, yeah, thank you very much. I pay you 1,250 euro. Man, yeah, it's a steal. Obviously, governmental subsidized 50% off. But yeah, I'm not paying here 1,000 something euro for them, especially if I want to leave this office. But yeah, long story short, also, yeah, how bad is the situation? I'm considering to installing an LTE router and channel bond this with a wire guard to the data center and route all our shit. Like channel, yeah, 2020, a business in the center of Berlin needs to channel bond a faking DOCSIS failing cable garbage with an LTE connection with wire guard through their own data center. And I applied for Elon Musk's freaking Starlink. I thought not really that we, what is the upfront cost? Starlink, it's probably also some 500 euro or something. But the benefit is if I ever buy some abandoned green field somewhere and build there a weekend getaway, then I can take the Starlink with me theoretically. But I think the Starlink, but yeah, how frustrated are we here? It's like, yeah, you already apply for Starlink better in the hopes that solve something, not that necessarily. I don't even expect to get it anytime soon, or probably I should Google the installation cost there recently was. I mean, 99 euro, but yeah, 99 euro a month. And this is also, this Versatel fiber channel stuff was 1,250 euro installation cost plus 400 a month or something. It's like, yeah, paying 400 a month for your business internet, right? Starlink cost, what was the upfront cost? There was 499. So yeah, I mean, it's certainly not cheap, and it's certainly meant for urban and other areas that are even more failing and less developed than the center of Berlin here. But 499 upfront, it's there. But even that, right? So the cost for installing fiber optic, even with government subsidies, more than twice than a new satellite constellation stuff. Like, yeah, not saying that I wasn't accepted yet for this beta program. Not sure if they will accept people in the center of Berlin. And not even sure if Elon Musk would write me like, hey, here, you're accepted and whatever. I'm not even sure if I would try that, because it's even like service quality unclear. It's like, yeah, I have already some, what is the fine print? There's some service reliability or service or something fine print of it was something like connection stuff, not it's called better than nothing beta test. It's like, I'm as frustrated I'm with this 3,700 dropped frames, 10%. I'm not really sure if I want to pay $500 for a better than nothing. I have already better than nothing, but it would also be what was this actually freaking working internet service provider in 2020? But this is how frustrated we are. I'm also wondering, this is Elon Musk's Starlink stuff here, beside light pollution in the sky and stuff. If there really will be 1,000 or 100,000 people signing up because you have only you share all the bandwidth, similar to this failing DOCSIS cable garbage. So I expect maybe if Starlink has some customers, it will be as failing as this garbage share DOCSIS cable thing, because you have actually the same issue of you one cluster of satellite stuff, area coverage of all those customers sharing this. So so maybe it will be as unstable as this failing stuff of and obviously the downlink looks relatively good, but the problem is, and they always at this Vodafone support, but your downlink. It's like, excuse me, I told you since years, I'm not, give me 200 Mbit freaking downlink. I just want 20 Mbit. More is always better, but at least give me half of what we pay for, and I'm not interested in your downlink. Just give me 200 or something, but I want freaking stable uplink. And it's like, so people go crazy, and welcome everyone. Degraver says 1,150 is probably without the subsidies, and Vodafone's probably pocketing this. This was Versatel, not Vodafone, but I get your idea. So we have quite some comments. Welcome everyone. I'm really sorry. And again, if this freaking stuff would be just freaking working, I wouldn't need to have to make these videos. And it saddens you if you imagine you build a channel, and each freaking live stream you lower the bitrate, and then you watch your own live stream, and there are gaps and hanging frames and missing audio. And a year later, as a professional IT company, still your ISP still didn't get their freaking act together to freaking resegment this. And are there no other customers? It's hilarious, right? So, okay, maybe all the other customers are actually freaking watching streaming video, but I even told them, look, I'm a YouTuber, right? In the meantime, as long as you freaking failing internet doesn't work, I already announced in each live stream, this dropped frames, not brought to you by Vodafone failing cable Germany. And if you don't want those negative advertisements, maybe finally after 1.5 years, get your freaking internet ISP shit together. It's hilarious. So welcome everyone. Let's get down with some more coffee. Let's take a look at the comments, maybe go there soon relatively fast. Marco writes, repeat please, drop frames. It's like, Rare writes, what pisses them off, don't get close to promise speeds unless you have a ton of money. This is also, and they even, first of all, I said this in the previous video, right? They knew 1.5 years ago, Vodafone knew that this segment is congested, and they knew they need to resegment it. And yet they allowed us, when we upgraded, they never told us, look, you don't need to upgrade because we can't even freaking deliver it to you. They allowed us to upgrade, took our money, run away with our money, probably went golfing or some sort of having some nice sea execute dinner time, and didn't even mention to us, like, look, you will not anyway get more than that. And so not even far from what they promise. I'm sure that I could make a test upgrade to a gigabit here just for the freaking, also probably they sent us a new freaking fucking router for that. But Mr. Clem's right, you're eventually complaining about an intermittent line issue. You could have 100% uptime working perfectly if you never get the right speeds in. call and complain until they've... Yeah, I've done this 1.5 years ago, right? I only made the mistake of trusting them 1.5 years ago that they are really working on this re-segmentation. Graviton writes, over there in the Netherlands, usually you have user technician accessible migration page, register new modem's MAC address and try to your ISP login account. We don't have this. So in Germany, they do this by themselves. And again, this is here to the comment that they sent us this freaking modem and I didn't even ask them. And I told them, look, I'm sure we don't need this freaking modem. They insisted to sending it. It was the same. I told them. They said, no, for this higher speed, you need this modem. And it is the same DOCSIS standard after all, right? So they caused this downtime. They caused themselves. And they should have had this registered because they freaking sent it to us, right? Just that unplugging it and plugging in the new one didn't work. So, and yeah. Unknown modems get mapped into separate IP range and any DNS request gets root hardware register page automatically. It's not, they are operating really closed and they don't even, we have some router until some years ago, until with all the lobbying of people like me, some router last mile bring your own device kind of law. Only since then, but I don't have this, right? It's not even working with that. The problem is if you bring your own modem, then they tell you, it's not our fault, it's your freaking own modem. So I don't even bother and have their own freaking modem. Yeah, we have Jack group, right? So do you have something like the FCC? Yes, theoretically we have some Netzaufsicht or whatever. But Netzaufsicht or what exactly is it? Of course, it's Bundesnetzagentur. Yeah, so we have that theoretically. Maybe I should, but yeah, also time and efforts of opening their cases and stuff, and then sometimes it only applies to consumers and not businesses because businesses are not consumers. Like yeah, but thanks for that. Maybe yeah. Fun fact: maybe I should actually escalated it there a year ago, but. And yeah, Sam writes, you have this, how is it, Pay or however it's pronounced, to throw that into the complaints into the trash. That mug of what, which, you mean the mug of not our nice dragon mug, I hope, because that certainly is only for the best coffee. Graviton DOCSIS 3.1 will aggregate way more frequencies blocks for upload and use more complex QAM modulation to increase upstream bandwidth per channel. We have DOCSIS 3.1, right? I can just for the... Yeah, actually it is DOCSIS 3.0, but yeah, so we had the same before. So yeah, your comment is actually spot on. Maybe then I should just for the freaking heck, as I can certainly afford the price difference, maybe. But the only problem is the fucking downtime. If they send us again a modem and that takes 48 hours to configure correctly. But otherwise, yes, it is probably... it's €5 more than currently, so we pay anyway €5 more for some fixed IP address stuff. But yeah, €5 more, I can certainly afford that. It's less. Maybe I can check if switching to that will give us a freaking DOCSIS 3.1. Maybe that would. Accidentally, but yeah, throwing more money on at them just for the speculation of maybe this gives us DOCSIS 3.1. But I really wonder that they don't prioritize business customers, right? After all, some people working here need to get their stuff done also with this home office stuff. I mean, why are those, except they can't legally with net neutrality, but I wonder if it would net neutrality only says you cannot throttle different things, but I would think even with the German net neutrality stuff, maybe it would still be possible to, as a whole, prioritize business customers also, over. And after all, they have more business, usually pay more, have more users, and anyway. But gonna take years before spectrum needed is free. Frequency still used by analog radio. Graviton asked. So I think in Germany, did they not disable? I thought they maybe stopped already. Berlin cable analog switch. Let's see. I'm not watching. It sounds like the German analog cable TV was shut off in the middle of 2019. Cables, only DVB-C, of digital video broadcasting cable stuff. Apparently, according to that, but I'm not consuming TV except some YouTube because future. But yeah, so that's the state, and 5,000 drop frames on 9.3% as a matter of full disclosure and maximizing shaming. Vodafone failing DOCSIS cable stuff of that is a thing, and that is not making this shit up. Unfortunately, I wish I would. Anyway, it's hilarious. So yeah, thanks for the wishes. Thanks for the suggestions. And Sam writes, or group writes, are there any other ISPs? So there are no other cable ISPs. So cable is like this area has that monopoly. There is DSL, this digital subscriber line stuff, but that doesn't give us even that bandwidth. And the VDSL, according to VDSL location stuff, doesn't cover this area apparently for whatever strange reason here in the center of Berlin, because garbage. But so yeah, I could get DSL with even less bandwidth, not different cable. I could throw money at Elon Musk for satellite. And Sam writes, where they live on an island, there, of course, there's a local ISP from some engineers who have retired, and only place you get good internet. Yeah, there's also the story of some hotel having shit Wi-Fi, and then there was some Wi-Fi engineer conference for Wi-Fi whatever, and it was so shitty that they measured and analyzed this network, and somehow at the end of the conference they had working Wi-Fi because they reconfigured all this Wi-Fi there or something. Yeah, it's certainly not important. It's also lazy, right? You call the support, they never know what they're talking about. They're always clueless people who know nothing, who barely even know, or certainly often don't even know what DOCSIS is, what IPv4 is. Remember this previous video? This hilarious people sent us a freaking IPv6 cable when they are too incompetent to switch back to IPv6 at home, and at the end sent us a cable that they didn't tell us they sent, and I didn't ask for a cable, and it's hilarious. Yeah, all is so sad. And long story short, it's also management, right? It's their management. They don't manage, and it's not the fault of the people for the support. They certainly work as best as they are trained, and they work best with whatever the help desk system tells them to say. It's just like they have shit data there, they have shit records there, they don't know what you talked with them a year ago, and otherwise they promise you uncontrolled stuff that they will not even work on. So it's mostly a management issue, and the management decided support is expensive, so we just tell them some random garbage. And yeah, cable nodes are called a hybrid fiber cable nodes. A little bit of polishing should be blow like a Nintendo, the remaining blow on them like a Nintendo. Oh, there's a remaining 200 Mbit. Everything from 70 right up to the street level multiplexes is fiber. After that, it's a bit of still coax. Wasn't there some situation months ago with Vato, the Vodafone cable provider, basically having an AI providing live script to read and actually bot on the phone? I don't know. AT&T generating a live script of would have paid it for those headache going away and all our spent fighting internet. And yeah, it's also we are paying them more to get more internet, and just we don't get it, right? It's hilarious. Biggest selling point of Starlink is that named Dishy make flat face. No, thank you very much. So yeah, now the stuff jumped. Re-segmentation is a real thing. This is just very costly. Where we DOCSIS will solve all the, but it's going to take a few years. I slightly wonder. DOCSIS 3.1 Berlin. So the problem is apparently it's coaxial 1 gigabit 110. So if gigabit stuff is DOCSIS 3.1, maybe I should just. But yeah, I mean they are not even proposing like, look, if you want to be connected to the higher new speed standard stuff, just book this gigabit DOCSIS 3.1 stuff and it will be better. You need to, as an educated IT person, come to this idea yourself. And yeah, maybe I should just try it and hope that it fixes something. If it wouldn't be this garbage outage of, yeah, probably I should do this over a weekend so that our customers, or I should do some maybe I should do some cloud service migration stuff before that and make sure that our stuff is reachable without some fixed office IP address. So yeah, let's quickly, so the problems with all the comments I wanted, actually I said in earlier live streams, I wanted to stop reading all the comments because as amazing as it is, it's getting quite some more, and then the live streams already become longer, and we drop 6,300 drop frames or 9.6%. Curious to see what happens with Starlink when it snows outside. Oh yeah, so Starlink many problems. I'm not sure if I would betting on that, besides the space debris stuff and colliding with rockets and astronomers complaining about light pollution. Rural area Starlink often better than nothing is actually really good. Yeah, so I totally understand, and we even in Germany we have this in some rural areas. Ironically, one funny anecdote, and then we really soon stop this live stream. You remember when Germany was divided? I heard, when we had West and East Germany some 30 years ago, which by the way today might be the 31st anniversary of the fall of the German Wall, and so that is certainly a good day to remember. German, what were we best with? Typos of or West and East. I only want to say that I also type it to total garbage because obviously that's what we do in stuff. So that is how that looked right until some 30 years ago. This Cold War time stuff, and so I heard that. So obviously the infrastructure stuff was less developed in East Germany, and obviously in West Germany we had probably was it or we had ISDN. So I heard, but correct me if I'm wrong. The saying is that because in East Germany they rebuilt so much new then after the German reunification that they installed a lot of fiber optics, right? Which is obviously amazing, right? In 1991, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In the 90s, plenty of fiber optics deployed in East Germany. And then the hilarious thing and the irony and the really bitter craziness is that because West Germany and the rest of the world had this bloody copper lines and everything was running on DSL, this digital subscriber lines shit, that they didn't have any fiber optic to the home infrastructure. So instead of being better connected, they were worse connected because they didn't have any internet protocol stuff for the end users to run. They had fiber optics in the buildings, but couldn't run DSL of digital subscriber line over it. So this is also a really historic fluke of hilarious bullshit. That you have fiber optics and then you can't use it, and then you don't have DSL, and they were a decade longer sitting with ISDN over fiber optic because you couldn't run DSL over fiber optics or some bullshit. I mean, obviously, if you wanted to, you probably could have run some ATM or other fiber optic stuff directly in the 90s already. Let's see if we can fact check that. Optic cable, no DSL. Do they have here? Yeah, still so slow. Why isn't it so bad in Germany anyway? German dispute over fiber optics funding to be, this is 2020. Yeah, something of that sort. Acquires, lease, no. Anyway, correct me if I'm wrong. This is at least what I heard. That didn't install that in the 90s. I was too young to experience this firsthand. But that is the saying. So yeah, you have fiber optics, and then you use it to run ISDN over it. Amazing achievement, right? So yeah, that's it. Starlink sounds like a meme to generate news traffic. Everything Musk does is a meme. Yeah, it's a good marketeer, yeah, exactly. He can't get VDS at some successes, fewer yeah, so no VDSL. I already considered that. So yeah, after Graviton is also positive that maybe I just call them tomorrow or maybe I just try it, but yeah, De Graver says re-segmentation is a real thing. Rest of the neighborhoods complain as well. They were complaining. Please don't care anymore. What else do we have there? De Graver has 220 60 VDSL with pair bonding IPv6 cable. IPX cable on my. Can I get a little longer cable for IPv6? How do they manage to cram the longer addresses? Yeah, you need a thicker cable, so you need thick Ethernet, obviously, for IPv6. IPv6 cable. Amazon can sell HDMI cable. They probably thinking Cat6 cable or something. No, they just thought I have a connection problem, and that is just stupid support, right? Instead, they had a configuration distribution issue of still having IPv6 disabled for a home account, and the support is just too stupid. Also, we talked with them like 6 times. The support thinks connection problem means bad cable, and instead of fixing their bloody back-end configuration problem, they sent out a freaking cable. It's hilarious. They were thinking nothing. Mr. Plus Internet API would fix links, something of joking, sure. So yeah, that's it for this video. I'm really sorry that I have to provide these updates, but it's also, among other things, like, yeah, why do we still shit here with this shit? It's like, yeah, 8,230, like, yeah, less than one Mbit, because yeah, this is. Anyway, maybe I try if DOCSIS. Not sure how this behaves with DOCSIS 3.1 4 gigabit Ethernet on the same segment. How this, but maybe it works. Anyway, maybe I give it a chance, because as you see from this bloody shit here, it's like, yeah, we work on it. It can take months. Also, yeah, 1.5 years ago they told me it can take 8 to 15 months, 9 to 15 months, and now after not knowing what I'm talking about, it's like, yeah, we deploy some fiber optic cable and can take some months. Like, yeah, and also estimated time of arrival, right? ETA. They couldn't 1.5 years ago. Their ETA was look up in the forum how long segmentation takes. We don't know. Look it up in the forum. And also here, can take multiple months. It's like, oh, after 1.5 years, it can still take multiple months. What ETA is it? Not 1 month, not like this. We will fix this until the 31st of December. It will take 2 months. Like, it can take multiple months. And then I know it already. If I call them in 5 months, what do you even talk about? What segmentation? What fiber optics cable? We have nothing in our system. Anyway, I rest my case. It is and less than 1 Mbit, because Are we even still online? It's hilarious. It's hilarious. So yeah, 8,751 drop frames, not brought to you by failing 1.5 year tested and not found good Vodafone garbage cable Germany. High-tech nation, and when the politicians are wondering why are we not Silicon Valley here, it's like, yeah, we can't even do freaking cable internet. That's it for today. I hope you have a better internet. And but in general, this is the recurring theme of everything is broken, not only Linux kernel, everything else and in between. And people and support. I have other stuff, by the way, going on that is also failing as similar that I actually can't talk about. So from small companies like us, it's always expected to, your shit needs to work. But the big corporations, it's like, yeah, failing, we don't know, it's broken. It's like, yeah, whatever. It's really getting set. Yeah, Graviton writes, for one junction box, it's job of about 1 hour, one technician work efficiently. Yeah, I don't know if they have like empty tubes to run new fiber in, or if they have 100 of fibers there in this junction box thing. But in any case, it is said, and it is twice as said, that after 1.5 years, we are still talking about the same freaking drop frames, and you need to channel bond with some LTE connection just. And by the way, given the amount of this failing drop frames, I wonder how many this stuff. But anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you learned something. If not, that ISPs suck all over the world, whether at Louis Rossmann in the center of New York or here at us in the center of Berlin. Yeah. Western companies sticking together, especially with failing tech, and I hope to see you next time for all the more fun videos and live streams to come.